Yeah. Good morning, guys. In the last class, we discussed about what is encoding and decoding. So what is encoding and decoding? They are used to encoding nothing but converting all the characters to compatible characters. Converting data to compatible characters. For that, we are going for encoding. What is the decoding? What is decoding, guys? Converting encoded data to original data. That is called as decoding. So in our projects, we are going to use encoding and decoding. To perform encoding and decoding in the Java, there is a class called base64. Base64.getEncoder, we will get the encoder object. Encoder dot encode to string. I got that string. Whatever the string I have encoded, that string I want to decode. For that, I am going for base64.getDecoder. Decoder.decode method. I'm getting the byte array. Okay, that byte array I'm converting back to string object. So this is my original data. Then after, we discussed about encryption and decryption. What is encryption? It is used to convert the data from readable format to unreadable format is called as encryption. Then what is the decryption? It is used to convert encrypted data to original format. In the real time, we are going to implement encryption with the salt technique. So salt nothing but the extra text that I am appending to the original data, that is called salt. We can perform encryption by using message digest. There is a bcrypt algorithm, AES algorithm, JRTP algorithm, like that. There are several frameworks or libraries available which are used to deal with encryption and decryption. Here in the project, user will give some password. That password we should not store in the database as it is. Whatever the password is available, we should not store that password directly in the database. For that password, we are going to append some salt. That means some extra text we are going to append for the password. Whatever that password which is having a salt, I'm going to encrypt it. Okay, then I will get the encrypted text with the salt. Then I'm going to encode it. Once I encode, then I will store that encoded password in the database. In every project, password will be deal with encryption and decryptions. Perfect. Good. Next one, guys, let's understand what are the tools that will be available. Now we understood how to analyze the requirement. Okay, we are able to understand requirement, analyze requirement, and we are able to understand database design. Okay, and we know testing, we know development part also. Okay, once we have done the development, then we are going to perform testing whether our code is working as expected or not. We are going to test that code. Once the testing is completed, our code will be deployed, guys. Once the our testing is completed, then our code will be deployed. Okay, what is that process in the real time? How many environments will be available in order to deploy our application, and who is responsible to deploy our code into which environment? Okay, let's understand this. Now in the real time, for every project, every developer will have local environment. Every developer will have a local environment. Local environment is nothing but company will provide you one laptop. In that laptop, you are going to write the code. You will get one system. Company will provide you one system. In that system, you will write your code. You will run your code. You will debug your code, and you will test your code. You will understand what are the problems available in the code. Once all your issues are fixed, then our code will be available in the GitHub. Not only one developer, complete project team members' code will be available in the GitHub repository. Once the code is available in the GitHub repository, complete code is available in the GitHub, then we need to deploy our code into dev environment. We need to deploy our code into dev environment. First of all, What is the environment? What is environment? Can any idea? What is environment? Come on. Any idea? What is environment? Environment is nothing but a platform which is used to run our application. Environment means a platform which is used to run our application. Now, here for a dev environment, we will be having dev database. For a dev environment, we will be having dev DB. So that is a database will be used only for connecting with our application will connect with the dev database when it is running in the dev environment. Dev environment means our DevOps team will prepare one machine. In that machine, they will install all the required softwares and they will run our application. When our application running in the dev environment, our application will connect with one database. That is only dev database. Now here, every developer will have the access to run the application in the dev environment. I have done some coding. My code I committed to GitHub repository. Once my code is committed to GitHub repository, I want to test my code is working as expected or not. So in my local it is working. In my laptop my code is working. But when I keep my code in the GitHub, the whole project code is available in the GitHub. My code is available, your code is available, all the other developers code also available in the GitHub. When that is called code integration. I am implementing login functionality. I have tested it is working as expected. Then I deployed my code. I kept my code in the GitHub repository. To deploy my code from GitHub to the dev environment, there will be one dev job. That is nothing but deployment job. In the Jenkins, we are going to create a dev job. What this dev job will do? It will take the code from the GitHub and it will deploy into dev environment. Dev environment means one machine. In that our server will be available, required softwares will be available to run our application. When my code is running in the dev environment, it will connect to one database. All the developers will have the access to run this dev job. What is the duty of the dev job? It will take the code from the GitHub and it will deploy the code into dev environment. In the dev environment, we are going to perform DIT. In the dev environment, we need to perform DIT. DIT stands for Developer Integration Testing. I have implemented a login functionality. You implemented registration functionality. Somebody implemented forgot password functionality. All the code we integrated in the GitHub. All the code I deployed to dev server. Once the code is integrated, all the functionalities are working or not, we have to test in the dev environment. That testing will done by developer. That is called developer integration testing. So when my code is integrated with your code, my code is working or not. Am I getting any problem because of the code integration? All my functionality working as expected or not, we need to test it in the dev environment. That a task will done by dev job. Dev job will take the code from the GitHub, compile that code, package that code, review that code, and deploy into dev environment. Every developer can run the dev job. I have done some complex code. In my system, it is working. Will it work when I integrate the code or not? I will integrate it. I will deploy in the dev environment. I will test it. If it is not working, then I will see what is the problem. If it is working, I'm good. I will test it. You have to test it. They have to test it. Every developer should test their code first in the local system. Then they need to test in the dev environment. Dev environment, nothing but all the developers' code will be deployed into one server. That is a remote server. One computer will be available. In that, they will install all the required softwares. We will deploy our application. Developers will test it. That is called developer integration testing. For that, separate database will be available. Database server will be different. Once developer integration testing is completed, we need to give our application for testers. Once a developer testing is completed, we cannot deliver that application to the client. Our application should be tested by software testing team. So for the testing team, we will maintain a separate environment in the company that is called SIT environment. SIT nothing but system integration testing, or I can say this is called as QA environment. Dev environment and QA environment. What is the meaning of QA environment? Quality assurance. Whatever the code we have developed, is that code working as per client expectation or not? That will done by testers. When our application want to test by testers, our application will be deployed to QA. For the QA environment, separate database will be available. For QA environment, separate database will be available. Our application will be deployed to QA and it will connect to QA database. Database servers, database schemas will be different. QADB will be available. So to deploy that code into QA environment, we are going to create one job in the Jenkins that is called QA job. QA job. This QA job is going to take the code from the QA environment and it will deploy in the QA environment. Who will run this QA job? Testers will run that job. We will not have the access to run the QA job. QA job will be executed by testing team members. For a testing team, one separate environment will be available. What is the meaning of environment? Environment nothing but a platform which is used to run our application. That means it is a machine in that install the Java, install the servers, whatever the softwares that are required, we need to install the softwares and we need to run our application. When the application is deployed to QA environment, testing team will perform SIT. SIT, nothing but system integration testing. That means all the functionalities are working as expected or not. That will be tested by testing team in our project. Sir, what is the difference between DIT and SIT? What is the difference between DIT and SIT? DIT will done by developers. DIT will done by developers. SIT will done by testers. In the DIT, I will test only my functionality, whatever I have developed. You will test only your functionality, whatever you develop. She will test only her functionality, what she developed. But in the SIT, they will test all the system. The complete system will be tested by testing team in the SIT. SIT stands for System Integration Testing. So our code will be deployed to QA environment. When the code is deployed to QA environment, separate database will be available. Our code should connect to the QA database. Code should be connected to QA database. Once QA testing is completed, QA people should provide a certificate for the code. Yes, this project is quality. This project is having a quality QA certified. QA certified means the project functionality working as expected. The project functionality working as expected, that we can identify by using QA testing team. That will be given by QA testing team. Once the QA testing team testing is completed, QA manager will send one email to the project team saying that testing is completed, QA certified. QA certified means, okay, all the functionalities are working as expected. Once the QA completed, then we are going to deploy our application to UAT environment. Deploy the application to UAT environment. When we deploy the application to UAT, there will be a separate database for that. That is, UATDB will be available. UAT environment will connect to this UAT database. Connected to UAT database. So here, to deploy that project into UAT, UAT job will be available. In the Jenkins, DevOps people will create the UAT job. That UAT job is responsible to take the code from the GitHub, deploy to UAT environment. In this UAT environment, UAT testing will happen. UAT stands for user acceptance testing. Our project development completed, developers tested, everything is working, then given to testing team also tested, everything is, they told that everything is working as expected. Then we will deploy our application to UAT environment. UAT stands for user acceptance testing. So here client side one team will be available, guys. Client will not trust our company. Client will give the project development to us. We will develop that and we will test it. Then client will have its own testing team. Client will have that own testing team. Suppose if you are working for a client who is in Dubai, in the Dubai, client will have an office. In the client office, some employees will be available. Those employees will test our application. Is that application working as expected or not? Is that application working as expected or not? That UAT will happen at the client side. Development and testing will happen in our team only. Developers will be available, testers will be available. Once our testing is completed, client will have client side team. That team will perform UAT. Sometimes what will happen is, in my previous company, the project is developed by our company. Project development, DIT, SIT, we have done. Testing, client has given to other company. So we are from Deloitte. We developed project in the Deloitte company. Testing is done in the Value Labs company. Value Labs testers has tested our functionality. So like that, development and testing may happen in the different companies also. When the development and testing happening in the different companies, quality will be there. Why quality will be there? Competition. That company will try to prove that our development is weak. We will try to prove that their testing is weak. So quality, that competition will be available when the development and testing happening in the different companies. Are you guys getting my point? If development and testing happening in the same company, हमारा टेस्टर से, हमारा एम्प्लॉय से, डेवलपर से टेस्टर्स विल बी फ्रेंड. मामा, I have not done the coding properly. Please don't raise a bug. I will give you party this weekend. Okay, so that kind of things will, that kind of issues will occur when the development and testing happening in the same company. That's why UAT always will happen in the different location. UAT always will happen in the different location. Sometimes UAT will happen in the different company also. Suppose if the development is happening in Hyderabad, UAT will happen in the US. If development is happening in the US, UAT will happen in the India. Sometimes location will be different for the development and UAT. Sometimes companies also will be different for the development and UAT. I have experienced that. We are from the Deloitte development team. They are from Value Labs testing team. So development in one company, testing in one company, every day fighting in the meeting. Why this bug is coming? That is not a bug. What we will tell, that is not a bug. You don't know how to test the functionality. They will tell that this is a bug. You don't know how to develop the functionality. That kind of fighting will happen every day. That meeting is called as bug triage meeting. What is that meeting? Bug triage meeting. That means that company people, they will perform the UAT. They will find some bugs in the code. They will report that bug in the Jira. Tomorrow in the morning, every day morning, meeting will be there for a development team and UAT team. UAT people will say that when I enter email ID, and I will show you. When I enter email ID and password, in general, as a developer, what we will do? After entering the email ID and password, we will click on login button. What those people will tell? We entered email ID, password. I entered, click on enter button. I'm not able to log in. Are you guys getting my point? These kind of issues will come. So general, as a development mindset, what we will think? We will think that people will enter their email ID, people will enter their password, people will click on login button to log in into the application. What they will tell, you know, I entered email ID, I entered my password, I will not click on login button. I will click on enter button in the keyboard. I'm not able to log in. They will raise that bug. That bug will come to triage. Triage means we need to discuss and we need to identify whether it is a valid bug or whether it is a invalid bug. They will say that I'm not able to log in when I click on enter. We will say that that is invalid, that is not there in the requirement. Are you guys getting my point? So that's where the clash will happen between the developers and testers. So testers will think like an end user. So many people who are from non-IT background, So how a software engineer will think about the application, how a banking employee will think about the application is different. Okay. So now, so many times those people will go and click on browser back button. But as a developer, are we going to click that? 99% of the times we don't click the back button in the browser, but end user can do that because they don't have an idea what is that browser back button, what is refreshing the page. Suppose they will do some payment, they will wait for 10 seconds. If it is rotating, they will think that they have to rotate this. They will click on this button. Double time payment will happen. If they resubmit the form, if they resubmit the page, 2 times payment will happen. But as a developer, we will wait. We know how our code is executing in the background. It may take some time to complete the transaction, but end users don't know about that. They will keep on submitting the buttons in the application. Duplicate forms will be submitted. Multiple times transaction will happen for the same order. Okay, such kind of issues will be available. So that's where when UAT is happening, developers and testers should be very careful because end users are going to test the application. Simple example, UAT testing, I will tell you simple scenario. Have you ever been to passport office? Passport office, right? So what will be there in the passport office? Who will be using that system? Passport employees will be available. Okay, so they know the development. They don't know the development. They will only know about the system. They will use the system. When we develop a new functionality in the passport project, those employees who are using that system, they will test our application. That is called UAT. So the end users who are going to use our application, those people will test our application in the UAT. That is called user acceptance testing. Ultimately, those people should like that. If you go to Aadhaar center, Aadhaar employees will be available. They will use our Aadhaar application. When we make some changes in the Aadhaar project, our development will happen, our testing will happen. But who has to accept it? The employees of the Aadhaar department. They should be able to use our application. So they should test our application. They should confirm that everything is working as expected. In order to perform this UAT, domain knowledge is very important. Domain knowledge is nothing but functional domain. So now in the banking company, what kind of operations will be available? To apply for a loan, what kind of documents are mandatory? What documents are optional? What is the role of manager in our application? What functionality manager can access? What functionality employee can access? End user, what functionalities can access? That kind of domain knowledge is very important to perform the UAT. UAT nothing but end user. UAT nothing but end user who is going to access our application. Guys, good. So who will perform DIT? Come on. DIT will be performed by developers. That is called developer integration testing. What is SIT? SIT stands for system integration testing that will done by software testing team. Once SIT completed, QA certification is required for the project. Once a QA manager certify our code, then our code will be deployed to UAT. What is the meaning of UAT? UAT stands for user acceptance testing. End users are going to test our application. Okay. Once UAT completed, guys, in some companies, they will go for pilot environment. In some companies, they will go for one environment called pilot environment. Pilot environment is nothing but pre-production environment. So the pilot also will have its own database. The pilot also will have its own database, right? So we are going to deploy our code into pilot environment. In the pilot environment, they will perform application testing with the live data. Already our application available, some live data is available. They will test our application with the live data and they will perform performance testing. How much speed is there for our application? What is stability of our application? What is average response time of our application? If 100 user access our application, how much time it is taking to respond? If 1,000 users access our application, how much time it is taking to respond? If 1 lakh people access at a time, how it is responding? That kind of performance testing will be done in the pilot environment because we need to tell to the client. Simple example, have anybody been to bike showroom to purchase a bike? Yes. Have you taken the bike for test drive? Yeah. Why you have taken for test drive? To understand what is the sound of that, what is the mileage of that, what is the capacity of that bike. Similarly, when we are going to deliver our application to the client, client will ask, how many users can access my application at a time? What is the strength of my application? What is the average response time of my application? What is the bottleneck of my application? Bottleneck means what is the failure point for my application? Bottleneck. That means that is a failure point. When my application will fail. What is the strength of the application? What is the stability of the application? What is the responsiveness of the application? What is the bottleneck of the application? For the client, we need to give the report. Before deliver, when you are going to purchase a bike or car, they will tell that you can go 80 kilometer per hour speed. If you go with 80 kilometer speed, you will get 30 kilometers mileage or 40 kilometers mileage. If you go with 100 speed, then you will get only 25 kilometers mileage. If you go with 120 speed, you will also go with that. Yes or no? So that kind of statistics will be given by our company who is selling their product for us, right? So similarly, when we are delivering a project to the client, we also should tell the statistics about our application. If 1,000 users access our application, average response time less than 1 second. Within 1 second, every request will be processed. If 1,000 users are accessing, within 1 second, your request can be processed. If 1 lakh users are accessing, average response time 2 seconds. If 1 million users are accessing, average response time 3 seconds. If your application having response time more than 3 seconds, performance is bad for your application. Industry standard, every request should get processed within 3 seconds of time. That is the benchmark. If your application is taking more than 3 seconds of time to process, that means performance is not good for your application. We need to tune the performance. We need to tune the performance. So in the 2012 or 2013, Times of India conducted one survey. Government websites are available in the India. SBI, passport, this kind of IRCTC application, RTC bus booking applications are available. E-Seva, Me-Seva, that kind of applications are available. IRCTC application got the first rank in the worst performance in 2012. In the 2012, they have given the first rank for the IRCTC in the worst performance. But today it is having good performance. That means they have done so many changes in the application from long time. TCS developed that application or Infosys developed that application. So performance was very bad at that time. But now it is a super fast application. That is performance tuning. performance tuning. So that kind of performance testing will happen in the pilot environment. Why we need to do the performance testing? We need to give the report for the client. Boss, your project development completed, testing is completed, UAT also completed. This is the report of our project which we are going to deliver. If 1,000 users access at a time, within 1 second, request can be processed. If 1 lakh people access at a time, it may take 2 seconds to process the request. If 1 million users access at a time, it will take 3 seconds of time to process. Then client will tell, boss, I want my application to respond within 2 seconds for 1 crore users also. My business will go beyond 1 crore users per second. 1 crore people also can access my application at a time. How to improve the performance? Then we need to tell to the client, we need to increase the infrastructure. Instead of running the application in one server, we need to run the application in the 10 servers. Load balancing we have to implement. If you go for load balancing, then what will happen? Multiple servers will be available to run our application. So we need to perform that kind of testing. We need to prepare the report. We need to give data points to the client. Data points nothing but to proofs. We have done the testing with 1,000 users, with 10,000 users, with 1 lakh users, 1 million users, 2 million users, 1 crore users. These are the data points. We have tested. This is the time it is taking by the application. If you want good performance, give the money, then we will increase the infrastructure. We are running the project in 5 servers. So it is taking 2 seconds. If you want only 1 second of time for the response, increase the 10 servers. From 5 go to 10 servers. That is called load balancing concept. We need to deploy our application to multiple environments, multiple servers, and we need to test it. That kind of testing is called as pilot testing. It is also called as pre-production. It is called as pre-production because if I don't do that kind of performance testing, if I directly deploy to the production, if 1 crore people access at a time, my system will go down. My business will go down. I will get a negative reviews. I will get negative feedback for my brand. So that's why companies will never do experiment on the production. Before going for the production, companies will do the experiments on the pilot environment. Pilot environment is called as pre-production environment. Whenever application is deployed to pre-production in the company, there will be saying, they will send one email to all the development and testing team saying that code freeze. There is a mail, you will get a mail when your project is deployed to the pilot environment. You will get one email from your project manager saying that code freeze. Code freeze nothing but they will block all your permissions for the Git repository. You cannot commit any code to the Git repository. They will freeze that code. Code freeze will be available when our project is going for pilot environment. Why code freeze will be available? Suppose project is running in the pilot environment. Somebody committed that code to the Git repository that spoiled the entire code. Then what we will say to the client? Can you say that the developer has done the mistake because of that project is not working? No. So that is the reason when our project UAT completed, project will move into code freeze. Code freeze nothing but in the Git repository, you cannot commit anything. They will remove your permission. They will remove write permissions for the Git repository. You will have only read permission. What is the meaning of read permission? You can only take the updates from the Git repository, but you cannot push to the Git repository. That is called as code freeze. Why? For safety, for security, right? So then code will be deployed to pilot environment. Once code is deployed to pilot environment, what we want to deploy in the production, how many servers we need to use for our project in the production, similar to the production, we are going to set up pre-prod environment. Similar to the production, we will set up pre-prod. Once the project is tested in the pilot, if everything is working as expected, then we will go for prod environment. Prod environment is called as live environment. Once the project is deployed to the prod environment, prod database will be separate. Production database will be separate. So our application which is running in the prod environment will connect to production database. We cannot access that. We cannot access our production database because live data will be available. End users data will be available in the production database. Got it? Production environment, nothing but live environment. Now I'm accessing www.gmail.com. www.gmail.com. So when I go for www.gmail.com, what is the meaning of that? I am accessing application domain. For every project, we are going to purchase one domain. www.gmail.com, www.facebook.com, www.irctc.com, linkedin.com. Okay, so like this we are going to use domain name. In the real time, what will happen is our production environment, one machine will be available. Let me show you the production systems now. So in the production, what will be there? They will take server 1. Okay, this is one server. In that server, they will deploy our application. This is one server. This is one server. Like that, multiple servers will be available in order to run our application. Here, our application will be available. Here, our application will be available. Here also, our application will be available. Here also, our application will be available. This is called as server 1. Let me call it as S1. And this is S2. And this is S3. In 3 servers, same application is running. Why I am not running in one server? Why I am running in 3 servers? Load balancing. If I run my project in one server, that cannot handle all the requests. So that's why we are going to deploy our application in multiple servers. Deploy the application in the multiple servers. Now, in the real time, all these servers will be connected to one more server. That server is called as LBR. That is called as a load balancer. Now, if our application running in 10 servers, all the 10 servers will be connected to this load balancer. All the 10 servers will be connected to this load balancer. Now, whenever request comes to the load balancer will implement round robin method. Okay, first request should go to first server, second request should go to second server, third request should go to third server. That we are going to implement in the load balancer. For this load balancer, one IP address will be available. For example, load balancer means it is one machine, 198.168.168.4.3 or 4.31. Like this, 4 architects will be available in the IP address. There are 2 types of IP addresses are available. One is IP version 4, IP version 6 will be available. Currently, we are using IP version 4. That means 4 parts will be available in the IP address. Okay, every machine, every computer will have its own IP address. For example, this machine IP address 198.168.4.1. This is IP of my first server. First server nothing but one machine. In that my application is running. This is second server. Here my application is running. Here this is a third server. Here my application is running. Server 1, server 2, server 3. What is the meaning of server? That is one computer in which our application is running. That is called as one server. So there are 3 servers. In the real time, 20 servers also will be available for one project. That is called load balancing. All this now, can I tell to people, if you want to access my project, go to 192.168.4.31. Can I tell to IP address for the people? Are you accessing Gmail with IP address or with the URL? With the URL. So this IP addresses we will never give to the end users. These are our internal purpose. These are our company purpose. As a developer, we also don't know about these IP addresses. DevOps people are going to deploy our project in the server. DevOps people will know about our systems and their IP addresses. So they will take 3 machines, 3 computers. In the 3 computers, they will run our application. So 3 computers are having 3 different IP addresses. Every computer will have its own IP address. Are we going to give those IPs to the people? No. So these machines are called as nodes. What are those called as? Node. Node 1, node 2, node 3. My application running in 3 nodes. My application running in the 3 nodes. All the 3 nodes will be connected to LBR node. LBR nothing but load balancer. For this load balancer, one IP address will be available. 198.168.some10.30. Assume that that is the IP address of the load balancer. Now, to access our application, we should not use these IP addresses because in future this server may fail. Some other server will come like that. We are not going to bother about nodes. Okay, these are the nodes in which my application is running. All these nodes are connected to one more server. That server is called load balancer. To access our application, we should go for this URL, this IP address. To access our application, we should go for that URL. Are you guys getting my point? Now, but can I give this IP address for my customers? If you want to access my institute website, go to browser, type 192.168.3.20. Can I tell like that? No. I am giving the URL www.ashokit.in. That is my domain. Okay. Domain is different. IP is different. Domain is different. IP is different. My application is deploying in the production. When I'm deploying my application in the production, my application will be deployed into multiple nodes. All the nodes will be connected to load balancer. So to access the application, we need to use this IP address. To access the application, we need to use that IP address. But for end users, I cannot give the IP. For end users, I have to provide a domain. Okay. So here, my domain will be available www.ashokit.in. I purchased this domain in the GoDaddy. I purchased this domain in the GoDaddy. GoDaddy is a hosting provider. Okay. Now, this is my domain name, my project domain. End users will send the request to this domain. End user will send the request to this domain. But where is my application? In the nodes. So am I going to access the nodes or I need to access the load balancer? I need to access the load balancer. Why should I access the load balancer? To distribute the load. If I access particular node, always request will go to one server. Burden will be increased. That's why I want to distribute the load to multiple servers. To distribute the load to multiple servers, then I will go for that domain name. Okay. Here, what we need to do is, we need to do some configuration. That is called DNS mapping. Okay. We are going to configure DNS here. That is called domain name mapping. That is called domain name mapping. End users are going to access this URL. End users will access this URL. In the GoDaddy or in the AWS, domain mapping will be available. Whenever a request comes to that domain name, that request should be forwarded to that particular IP address. That IP address belongs to my load balancer. My load balancer will give the request to first node, second node, third node in the round robin technique. So this is how the real projects will be delivered to the client. Look at the diagram. Domain name server, Everything, whatever I'm showing you, practically I will prove it. After 1 month of time, you will be able to map a domain to your application, right? That we will do practically in our course. Domain mapping also we are going to learn how to map the domain name to the server. In the company, 99% of the developers don't know how domain mapping will happen. I also came to know that because I am working on the DevOps projects in my company. So the domain mapping will done by DevOps team, not the developers. So 19, you can ask any developer who is having 8 years experience or 7 years experience, how domain mapping is happening. We don't know. Our DevOps team will take care of that because developers will not get that chance to do the domain mapping, especially in the MNC company. For everything, separated team will be available. For everything, abstraction will be available. So they will not allow the developers to know about the domain mapping. Only operations team will do that. If it is a startup company, everything we have to do it. Yes. Load balancers, not like that. High-end systems will be there for the load balancer. They will go for 1000 GB RAMs like that. So the machines we are using in the load balancer, the cost of the machines will be in the crores of rupees, not 1 lakh rupee laptop, not 1 lakh rupee laptop. So the server cost will be in the crores of rupees. Companies will invest to set up this kind of cluster. This is called cluster setup. That a cluster setup will happen in the production environment. Yeah, data center, exactly. 1000 GB RAMs will be available. That much speed, that system will be there. Don't think that 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM in the production. In our company only it will happen. Testers. Same, in the GitHub branches will be available. To the GitHub, yes. Here, for pilot also, pilot job will be available and prod job will be available. They will also take the code from the GitHub only. In the GitHub, available in the GitHub. Dev branch, QA branch, SIT branch, UAT branch, release branch will be available. For every environment, one branch we are going to use. Okay, these branches also will take the code from GitHub repository only. All these things will happen behind the scenes. Now, pilot job is responsible to deploy the code to pilot environment. Production job is responsible to deploy the code to prod environment. No, I mean, depends. Sometimes we will do that. Sometimes they will do that. There will be a separate team for the production deployment. That is called release team. They are from our company only. We have to deploy and we have to give the URL to the client. Beta version. Pilot environment is called as beta versions. Pre-prod. What is code freeze? Nobody can commit the code to the GitHub. They will do branch locking. They will remove the write permission for everybody. Who will do that branch logging and all? DevOps. Operations team will do that. Manager will send the mail to DevOps to the code freeze. Do the code freeze means they will remove the write permission for the GitHub. You cannot commit the code. Dev environment, QA, UAT, pilot, and prod environments are available. Yes, guys. So you understand environment. Environment nothing but a platform which is used to run our application. In the real time, multiple environments will be available to test our application. So don't think that once the coding is completed, directly we will give to the client. Our application will be tested in the multiple environments. Once the testing is completed, then only it will go for the production. Production means pilot. In the production, cluster setup will be available. What is the meaning of a cluster? Our application will be running in multiple servers, not in one server. Our application will run in multiple servers. All the servers will be connected to load balancer, and we are not accessing the load balancer directly. We are not accessing any application by using IP address. We are accessing applications by using domain name. So that the domain should be mapped to IP address. To map the domain to IP address, we are going to use the DNS, domain name service. Domain name servers will be available. Our domain will be mapped to this IP address. Whenever you access this URL in the browser, it will go to the DNS and it will find where that application is available. It will go to that IP address, then it will access our application. This is called domain name. This is called domain name. So application domain name will be mapped to server by using DNS. We have to purchase this domain. So there are so many companies are available who will provide you domains. So one of the company is GoDaddy. People will go for GoDaddy, and some people will go for MilesWeb, and some people will go for a Hostinger. Okay, and in the AWS also we can purchase the domain. In the Azure also we can do that. In the GCP also we can do that. So these are all called as domain registrars. These companies are called as domain registrars. We can purchase our domain in that. Okay, so once we purchase a domain, then we will deploy our application. We will create the link between the domain and the application. That is called a DNS mapping. So the DNS mapping will happen by DevOps team. That DevOps team will perform the DNS mapping in the company. So in our JRTP course, I will show you this DNS mapping also. You can purchase a domain just for $5. We can purchase a domain. $5 means dollar is 80 plus rupees are available. Around 400, 500 rupees you can spend. You can purchase one domain. Then you can map your domain to your application. That is called domain mapping. Got it? Good. Fine. So with this, you got the clarity. What is a environment? For every environment, multiple data, every environment will have its own database, and our application will be deployed in the cluster. For the cluster, load balancer will be available. Load balancer URL will be mapped to domain name by using DNS. We have to purchase our domains. Perfect. Good, guys. So with this, we completed the basic part. From Tuesday, we are going to start the discussion related to major project. Monday, I will not be available, guys. Monday is holiday for us, only for our batch. I'm not taking the class on Monday. Morning and evening classes will not be available. You can practice the things which you have pending. So Tuesday, we have the class. Tuesday, we have the class. So before coming to the Tuesday's class, I want to keep you busy. So the tasks that I'm going to provide, the first thing is everybody should have create AWS account creation. We need to learn AWS cloud also. For the AWS cloud, AWS account creation, you have to do that. That account creation is free of cost. First 1 year, AWS services are free. Some free services available, some paid services available. When we are going to learn the AWS, then I will tell you what services are free, what services are paid. So you just create the account and keep it. That account we can use for 1 year free of cost. Okay. In order to create this AWS account, it will ask your credit card or debit card details, but they will charge only 2 rupees from your card for the card verification. Once your card is verified, they will send 2 rupees back to your account. But credit card or a debit card is required to create the account in the AWS. Okay. So I want everybody to keep AWS account ready. When we are going to work on real project development, to purchase the domains, to deploy the applications in the cloud platform, everybody should have a cloud account. So you just go to Google, AWS login. Okay, Amazon Web Services sign in. So if you don't have a account, create a new AWS account. Just it is the account creation process. Your email ID, password, your credit card, all the information they are going to ask, you can create the free tier account for that. I will share PDF document also to create that account. That is one step, AWS account creation. And the second step, the tools that we need to learn in the upcoming classes, one is JUnit, okay, and the third one is we need to learn about Jenkins, and we need to learn about Kafka. Okay, I'm going to explain these tools in the coming classes, but I want you people to go through these tools. I have the workshops, JUnit 4 hours workshop available, Jenkins 2.5 hours workshop I conducted, Kafka 4 hours workshop I conducted. If I take the live class also, same thing I'm going to explain once again. So I want you people to go through these videos before coming to Tuesday session. At least you will have some idea what is the JUnit, how to work with the JUnit, what is the Jenkins, how to work with the Jenkins, what is Kafka, why to go for Kafka, how to work with the Kafka. You will have some idea. So I will give my workshop links also. Okay, so whatever I discussed in the workshop, same thing I'm going to discuss in the class also, right? So let me go to our YouTube channel. So videos, live, yeah, popular lives, JUnit available. Almost 4 hours we have seen, the 4 hours I explained. If you watch that video, you will understand completely what is a JUnit and what is a mocking, why to go for JUnit with mocking, how to perform unit testing in the company. Tomorrow when you join in the company as a fresher, the first task they will give you sonar issue fixing and JUnit code coverage only. That is very, very, very important for every developer. And the next one, Jenkins. Recently we conducted Jenkins workshop. After our full stack batch started, then only I conducted the Jenkins workshop. Some people attended, some people not attended. So within 5 months, 73,000 people has watched that video. You can understand how much demand is there for Jenkins in the market. Okay, so that Jenkins 2.5 hours I conducted a workshop. If I teach Jenkins also, same thing I'm going to explain once again, because whatever is required for the developer, I already covered in that video. Now Apache Kafka, one of the most important topic nowadays for the microservices development. Apache Kafka, 1 year back, I conducted workshop on the Kafka for 4 hours. All right. So I want you people to complete AWS account creation. One day, tomorrow, you can spend the time to go through Jenkins video. You need to learn Jenkins from here. And JUnit is available. I want you to watch the JUnit and practice some examples on the JUnit. I have explained live coding in the Jenkins video. I will create a class. I will write the test case for that. I will execute the test case. I explain what is mocking, why to go for mocking, everything I have given, right? So I want you people to go through these 3 videos in the next 2 days of time. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. Tuesday I will come to the class. Tuesday we are going to start with our major project discussion. From Tuesday, next 2 weeks of time, you will be very busy to develop the major project. Major project means my contribution only 10 to 15%, your contribution 85%. What is the meaning of that? I will just give the requirement. I will just give the requirement. You have to develop that. You have to develop that complete project, that complete major project development with REST APIs. No UI at this moment. Once all the backend APIs are completed, we will deploy our backend APIs in the AWS cloud. Then we will start the front-end development by using Angular. So first we need to focus complete backend development for the major project through REST APIs only. From Tuesday, I will explain the major project. It will take 3 to 4 days only to understand the project functionality, requirement analysis, database design, lot of things we need to do. So from Monday, you will not get much time. to watch the videos or to do the practice. You will be busy with the project. That's why these 2 days, I want you people to go through this thing. From Tuesday, we will start the project. Are you clear? Are you ready for the development? Completely? Yes or no? Or you want me to develop? You people should develop everything, guys. I will tell the requirement. I will be there in the class. Any doubts you have, you can ask me. Functionality wise, I will clarify everything. Come coding part, you have to do it. You have to do it. Good. Fine. AWS account creation you have to do. I will give the document for that. JUnit video, you have to practice some concepts related to unit testing. Jenkins video is there. Kafka video is available. Perfect. Any questions, anyone from online?
Hello, sir.
Core Java questions for today, I will give.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Good, I forgot it.
Hello.
Same concept. For every environment, separate profile will be available. The both are same.
Hello.
Actors, 3. Functionality will be complex to understand. I will give that name, everything. Tuesday, I will reveal everything. No, it is not related to number of actors. It's related to the functionality. We'll see. We'll try to increase that. Sure. Okay. Guys, any questions? Online people? No questions, huh? Very good. Let me give core Java questions. I will upload, guys. I will give these videos also. I will share in the group as well.
Sir?
Yes, madam.
Sir, I have a question. In the yesterday's class, we'll be having multiple paying clients for different APIs that will be consuming great okay, so let me go this way. Suppose we are having 3 applications: app 1, app 2, and app 3. So application 1 having 4 instance, application 2 having 4 instance, and application 3 also having 4 instance. So app 1 has been consumed by application 2 and application 3. So suppose application 3 would be able to have a request to one request at a one time.
Correct.
So thread is only one.
Correct.
Now we are calling application 3 by using application 2 and application 1. And like how the round robin will work in this way, like every Fein client will be having their own load balancer at the client side, or
right. For every API that you want to access, you need to create a separate PN client. Suppose I have one application, from that I want to access app 1, app 2, app 3. For app 1, one PN client. For app 2, one PN client. For app 3, one PN client will be available.
So load balancers would be 3 in this case?
Yes. So every PN client will have its own ribbon.
Okay. So like for example, application 3 would be called by application 1 and application 2 at the same time.
No problem. So, that is having its own PN client. It is having its own PN client. No
so
issue.
it will call first instance in that case, right?
Right. Right.
But first instance will be able to take only one request at a time. So one API might fail in that case.
You need to think one thing. For every API, its own PN client is available. Every PN client will have its own load balancer. That's it. Understand?
No, sir. Actually, my question is, suppose application 3 has been called by 2 applications at the same time, and it will be able to handle one request at a time. So in that case,
not one request. Application can handle multiple requests at a time. Now, for every request, one thread will be created. Application 3 called by 2 applications at a time. For every request, one new thread will be created in the application 3.
Yeah, sir, that is just for an example. We'll be having like thousands of requests that I know. But in that case, it will fail, na, sir, because it would be able to handle only one request at a time.
Madam, web application is not going to handle only one request at a time. For every web application, server will be available. In the server, threads will be created. For every request, one thread will be created. Why application will handle only one request at a time? Application can handle multiple requests at a time.
So, okay, so let's do this way then. Suppose we'll be having one application can be able to handle 1,000 requests
Correct.
at a time. Okay.
Yes.
And it will be getting 2,000 requests at
Okay.
a single point of time. In that case, it will 1,000 requests got failed.
2000 requests, if it is getting 2000 threads will be created to process. If a server is not capable to handle 2000 requests, some requests will fail. That's why we are deploying our application in the multiple servers so that multiple threads will be created to handle all the requests.
Okay, sir.
Got it. For every request, new thread will be created. If it is exceeding the capacity, then it is a failure scenario. We need to increase the capacity of the server.
So, but the application is having 2 instances. So 1,000 requests will go to instance.
500 requests will go to instance 1, 500
Yeah.
requests will go to instance 2. If it is 2000, 1000 requests will go to instance 1, remaining 1000 requests will go to instance 2.
Okay, but sir, each client would be having their own load balancer.
Yeah,
And
PN
it
will
will
have
be
its own load balancer
running
implementation.
in the round robin fashion.
Correct.
So in this case, okay.
Hello.
Correct. PN client will have round robin. It will distribute the load.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yep.
हेलो
Okay.
सर
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
सर एक एपीआई है वो किसी थर्ड पार्टी एपीआई से डायरेक्ट कम्युनिकेट नहीं हो सकती तो
PN
उसे
can do that, but we need to give the URL of that directly.
सर जैसे कोई थर्ड एपीआई है गवर्नमेंट की उससे हम
Yes,
डायरेक्ट
that is what I'm telling you. PN client can access third-party services also. In that scenario, instead of the service name, you need to give the service URL. Hard code, we have to hard code the URL.
ओके
हेलो सर।
Yes, sir.
सर मुझे एक बार क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था कि लाइव एनवायरनमेंट में अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम आता है तो हम बिना डिस्टर्ब किए कैसे उसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं?
We need to check the log files and we need to fix the issue and we need to deploy the code.
ओके मींस वो थोड़ी देर के लिए बंद होगा सर्वर, राइट सर?
हाँ, sometimes band will happen. You have seen in the SBI, you will get some message. This weekend we have a maintenance activity, our servers will be down. Something like that.
Okay, sir.
When we are going for the production deployment, we need to inform to the clients. Today, 5 to 6 p.m., our servers will not be available. Our application cannot be accessed like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Sir, yesterday morning session, you told that encode, decode, and encrypted and decrypted.
क्या?
Sir, yesterday morning session.
हाँ.
You teach, sir, encoded, decode, and encrypted, decrypted.
Correct.
Sir, you told that in a password session, we suppose the customer entered a password. We add the salt. After we add the salt, then we add the encrypted, and after that we add to encoded and store to database.
Correct.
Sir, I'm right?
Yes.
After that, password will be stored at database. After customer forgot his password,
He has to recover the password.
he has to record, but we have the password in a encode format.
We will decode and we will decrypt.
First of all, we have to decode it and
then we have to decrypt it.
Can you show?
Yep.
Hello,
Fine,
sir?
guys. Good. Next, today questions for core Java. All of you done the answers for the 16 questions, 12 questions or how many? Yeah, 12 questions. You have the answers now. Now, today, okay, fine. How many ways we can create thread in Java? Okay, yeah. How many ways we can create thread in Java? That is one question. And next question, runnable versus callable. Runnable versus callable in Java. When to go for runnable and when to go for callable in the Java. Next one, what is executor framework? What is executor framework in Java? Okay. Then next one, what is the executor framework in the Java? That is the third question. Then 16th question, what is the contract between hash code and equals method? Very famous interview question. What is the contract between hash code and equals methods in Java? These two methods are available in the object class. When you are overriding hash code, you need to override equals. When we are overriding equals, you need to override hash code. Both should be used. What is the relation between both methods? Okay. What is the contract between hash code and equals method? Okay, this is very important question. Now, next one, checked versus unchecked exceptions. Checked versus unchecked exceptions. What is the checked exception and what is unchecked exception in the Java? Okay. What is try with resources? What is the try with resources concept? Java 7 feature. It introduced in the Java 7. My meaning is, what is the purpose of it? Okay. What is try with resources in Java? What is try with resources in Java? So these are the 6 questions I have given. That is fine. Right. These are the 6 questions. What is try with resources in Java? One more thing I will give. What are concurrent collections available in Java? How many ways we can create thread in Java? Runnable versus callable in Java? What is executor framework in Java? What is the contract between hash code and equals methods? Checked versus unchecked exception? What is the try with resources in Java? What are concurrent collections in the Java? And next one, difference between interface and abstract classes. Difference between interfaces and abstract classes. What are the differences between interfaces and abstract classes? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8. So total 20 questions I have given on the core Java now. Another 80 questions we are going to get. Total 100 questions. So I want you people to write the answers for these 8 questions also before coming to next session. Okay, good. I will upload this in the portal. Logical programs also, I will give that. Guys, after giving the questions, if you are not able to write the answers and if you are not able to answer these questions in the mock interview, then I can't do anything for you. So I'm giving the questions. You have to spend some time and you have to prepare these questions. These all are very, very, very important for the interview. Either it is experience or pressure. Very basic questions I have given, 20 questions as of now. Okay, please prepare and write your answers. In the answers I have seen, what is singleton design pattern? People have just written the theoretical part. You should write a program also for that. In the interview they will ask, can you write a program to create a singleton class in the Java? Theoretically you should know, and programming also you should be able to do that. Okay, prepare these things. Fine guys, we'll see you in the evening Spring Boot class. Thank you.